what is the odds that he not only makes it to the Super Bowl, but to actually win the Super Bowl?
If they beat Philly this weekend, that will probably be one of the better defensive game plan in the past decade. Because not only will you have to load the box, but if you load the box, you can't play too deep. If you can't play too deep, one of them boys gonna be man. So one of them gonna have one man on them. So you can pick your poison. You want to have the route runner and Smith, or you can just have AJ out there scot free, and not to mention Goddard. Dotson been making not Dotson. Yeah, it is Dotson. Dotson been making plays lately. So, and then not to mention the fact that Saquon himself is a receiving option. Not to mention Gainwell, who's a receiving option. So it's like if they can stifle Saquon, it gets dicey on if you can keep Brown and Smith down. Everybody keeps saying Hurts isn't passing for 200 plus yards, yada yada. He's doing 150, 160. He was doing 210 the Super Bowl year. That's 50 yards more, people. When you got someone like Saquon and that old line playing the way they do, the quarterback don't have to do much. You know who's also doing the same thing? Josh Allen. You know who's also doing the same thing? Patrick Mahomes. But it's those guys doing what they got to do so those teams can win. But when it's somebody else doing it, when their team is clearly that much better than those other two teams, why is it not the same story?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if they can completely stifle that offense, they may have a chance. I mean, granted, he did have 5 interceptions in that last game, you know, and like I said, if Jalen had been playing, it could have been a different story. But all in all, Jayden had 5 touchdowns. So,
Yeah.
you know, so if he can cut the turnovers and then that defense do their job, I love Jayden's poise. When they won against the Bucks, I said it honestly it reminded me a lot of Joe Burrow when they won. What it may have been, I forgot what game it was. I think it was like halfway through the season in 19. I was like, oh, that boy different. He had that same look. He's like, all right, let's keep going.
It's kind of look like this game, man. This is my game. This is my game.
No, really, it's my game, and that's scary for someone. Now, granted, he is 24, so he ain't 19, 20, but still at 24 in the NFL to feel that way as a rookie, that's different.
I think there's a 75-25%, right? So it's 25% chance the Washington wins. 75% I'm going with the Eagles.
So you just saying that because your father-in-law a Philly fan?
No. Honestly, at this point, man, the Philly city itself, since that Super Bowl they won, has been in either the World Series. They've been either in the playoffs. They ain't going far in the basketball NBA playoffs, right?
They've been in the playoffs every year since that Super Bowl,
and they've been very close. Every team except the 76ers. Everybody else has been really, really close. They've been in the big game, and they've all lost the big game. So at this point, I'm kind of just throwing myself at they got to get over the hump, right? And so I'm going to say they get into the big game. Jayden Daniels, I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. I think what he's been able to do this season is phenomenal. You know, me personally, I'm always what do you do in year 2 more so than what you do in year 1 type of guy, because we all know in year 1 they don't know what your blueprint really is. They don't really know how they're going to use you. I mean, at LSU you threw the ball, but also you ran the ball a lot. So they don't know how's everything going to work, but also they're going to understand your tendencies in year 2. This is why the defensive coordinators in the NFL and the defensive coordinators in college football are totally different. The game is just looked at completely different in how things actually work. We ain't doing stuff for fun. We're doing stuff because this actually works. And so Daniels, he's definitely shown his stuff. However, there is a question on the defensive side, because before Hurts got injured in that game, in the second game, they were marching down. It wasn't just like they were walking down the field, and that to me, that looked like this is controlled aggression. controlled aggression. And when we saw the Eagles play last week, it was controlled aggression. Never looked like they were out of the game. Never looked like they were being really forced to do too much. They just did what they normally would do, and they moved forward. Their offensive line is really good. They got two of the best receivers.
Speaking of that, man,
everybody,
no, like everybody said, oh, we don't know what this line is going to be without Kelsey. Now, granted, Kelsey is Kelsey, but Jergens is, I said it last week, the boy doing his thing.
What? Hey, look, the line didn't seem like they dropped off on anything. They didn't seem like they dropped off. It looked like they got better. Might be because
I ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna. Kelsey
I'm
was
not saying Kelsey.
like granted, Kelsey was 34 at this time. We gotta think about that.
Yeah, so I'm not saying
Kelsey at his prime, bro. And I know he hurt that he wasn't there for 2000. I know he was mad he wasn't there.
I'm not saying Kelsey's he wasn't good. I'm basically saying the same thing you said. With age, you slow up a little bit, so the line may adjust a different way. While you got a younger guy who's able to move a little bit quicker, it might be able to loosen up but also you got a better running back coming from behind you. So you may not have to hold that line too long. He's reading the hole as soon as it opens up and he's taking off. Those 2 long runs, it didn't look like he got touched at all.
Bro, do you, like when I see these holes form sometime and then you just see Saquon, oh snap, and it's just like
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I think as you're watching football today, and this was shown in the college football playoff as well, and as well as you see in the Super Bowl in the playoffs right now. So college football national championship as well as in the playoffs. As much as we talk about how people throw the ball all over the field, those numbers for the quarterback, these teams are winning off of 2 main priorities here. They're running the ball and their defense are playing like crazy. So the modern way of football is where it is during the regular season, sure. But when it comes to the postseason, when you mean I need to go and they know everything about me. They know everything our team can do. All the film is out there. It is ball control, hand that ball off, do what you do best, because guess what? You pay the running back a certain price. A lot of times now they got running backs by committee, but definitely saw a different side of the Eagles, and I feel like that the Washington, I ain't gonna say they got lucky, but it was very fortunate that Hurts got injured in that last showing. So it's very hard to beat a team back to back. And so you're gonna see this team for the 3rd time, healthy, good O-line.
I mean, Hurts got that pissed me off last week. But Hurts got that knee a little janky right now. That we'll see just how healthy he is.